Hello folks, and welcome to the Conservatory of Doom once more. Look what we've got here. We've got a Young's American Amber Ale, 5.6% on the ABV, as sent to us by our good chum, Kev Mitchell. Cheers, Kev. Now, Kev was very kindly sent me an email with a list of all of the beers in and some notes so that I can understand what he's done with these particular beers. Now, this 5.6% ABV Young's American Amber Ale says that it contains 100 grams of kit hops. Dun! Pacific Jade, Cluster and Summit. Dry hopped in the last 5 days of the FE, and he used a kit yeast, Newcastle Dark Ale 10 grams. Brewed as the kit instructions with no additions, so this is basically what it says on the tin, folks. No extra things to worry about. This should be as the kit says, so let's give it a little bit of a pour and see how we get on with it. I'm going to be a little bit aggressive here, Kev, because it looks like there's not too much carb going on here. That's aggressive enough, I think. Oh, that was slightly misleading. That's okay. You know, sometimes when you first pour a beer, you can't really tell whether there's going to be too much carb in there or not. So there it is, folks. It's a little bit cloudy. I don't know why that's cloudy. It's only been in the fridge for 3 or 4 days, probably it's been in the fridge. However, I did notice that it was a particularly cloudy beer before I put it in the fridge. But hey, it may well be that this kit is just a cloudy kit. You know, you're not going to get clear beers all the time. Just one of those things, folks. And if you don't like cloudy beer, what do you do about it? Well, there's a number of things you can do about it. You can either not drink it, don't worry about it and get a life, or while you're brewing you can chuck in some Irish moss or World Flock tablets or whatever you want to call them, Proto Flock, whatever they're bloody called, to get rid of the haze. I've had mixed results with that, chucking them in with the last 15 minutes on the boil, but of course this hasn't had any boil because it's all been dry hopped. But if you're going to boil some hops up on the stove with some malt, then in the last sort of 10-15 minutes you chuck in some Irish moss or alternative, and it's supposed to help clear the beer. It does work, folks, but you know, I've had mixed results. It may have just been the way that I've done my brewing, and it's not all grain brewing. I'm doing malt extract brewing, as you know, folks, because that's all I can do at the moment. I've just got a load of kits I need to work my way through, so that's what I'm going to be doing. However, it's not about me, is it? It's about this. So let's see if we can get anything off the nose. Yeah, this one smells a little bit, folks. Quite orangey. Is that orange I can get out of there? Sort of, yeah. The other 2 beers I did a quick review of for Kev, and bearing in mind, folks, I am not a beer reviewer. I'm not going to be able to sit here and talk about the distinction between a pine of this sort and a pine of that sort and the earthy tones and all that sort of bollocks. I'm just going to be able to tell you whether I like it or not. I don't believe I've had a beer or a homebrew beer with Pacific Jade, Cluster and Summit in before. So let's dive in and see how we get on. Cheers. Oh, that is interesting. Oh, you know what? That's really nice. I'm going to have another sip. There's an orangey kind of flavour to it. Now, I don't know whether I'm describing that right or not. Perhaps these hops are not known for their orangey flavour. However, kind of an orange smoothness. really clean and crisp, which is surprising considering it's a cloudy beer. That just goes down like so easy. Chum. It's not offensive to the palate in any way, shape or form. That it's not leaving behind any bitterness. It's not leaving behind any flavours that I don't like. As you know, I'm not big on the bitterness, folks. There's not an awful amount of bitterness in this at all. You know what? It just goes to show, folks, doesn't it? The beer kits that are out there at the moment, they're pretty good, you know, as long as you can get your yeast working. I've had problems with the yeast. Oh, pardon me. I could taste it on the burp as well. That's lovely. I don't know, honestly, folks, I don't know how to describe that flavour other than say it's quite orangey, more like of a tangerine kind of thing rather than a sharp orange. Very smooth and very pleasant indeed. That is my favourite so far, over and above the other two. Each beer is getting better, which I'm quite happy about, I'm pleased to say. So this one is getting, for me, I've got to give it a 9 out of 10. Now, I would give it a 10 out of 10, but the colour's a little bit off for me. It's still quite cloudy, and considering it's been in the bottle since December, I would expect it to be a little bit lighter than that, but it may well be because it was dry hopped. You know, there's an awful lot of hoppage in there, and given, you know, 4, 5 or 6 months, that will clear down and it will settle at the bottom of these bottles, and you won't get such a cloudy beer. However, it's not about how it looks really, it's about how it tastes, and this is a belter. Quite sweet. The only negative thing I will say, and as I said earlier, it doesn't leave behind any sort of residue or anything, or any bitterness, is once you've drunk it, it's gone. It doesn't leave behind any real aftertaste. There's a slight sweetness there, but it doesn't leave behind any flavours. It's basically, it's gone, and you just want to drink some more, which is not necessarily a bad thing, folks. But Kev, again, mate, another pretty decent beer, mate. The 3 beers we've done so far, nothing wrong with them at all, mate. You've done really well with these, and you know, particularly with the previous one, being as you knocked it up yourself, the Golden Stag clone. That one is obviously something you've created yourself, but this one, being as it comes from a kit, I can't give it 10 out of 10. So, but it's a close thing. Nice beer, really nice beer. I'm gonna have to go up, jump on the internet and find out more about those hops, which I should have done really before I did this review show, folks, shouldn't I? However, we are where we are, and that beer's gone, and I don't have another of the same, so we can't recreate this, folks. It's done. But Kev, you know, mate, that's the best one of the bunch for me so far, and we've still got loads to go. So don't go away, folks. Stay tuned for the next in Kev's beer reviews. We'll see you on the next one. Cheers for now.